What's up, guys? Welcome to Spacebar. The bar's in the shop, so we're in Mom's basement. Nikki G, Dan Mills, our resident barfly, Phil Arrigo.
What up?
We're talking Black Friday deals, steals. Do we even like it? What's the hottest Black Friday item?
It's the NES Classic, right?
NES Classic.
That's what's going on right now. I mean, we tried to get one for both personal use and for a sketch that we want to do. And Amazon.
For scale.
It broke Amazon. It broke Amazon. So
that blew my mind because we couldn't, when we were trying to like mega refresh, and it's all of us in the primer offices were like, oh God, come on, we got to get this.
Yeah.
And you had to type in Amazon.com/NES, and then you finally got a search bar, but you couldn't even go to Amazon.
So that bad boy sold out, and we were ready. We had like the government clock in one tab, like waiting to see, like 3, 2. We had our refreshes timed out, and
there would just be a moment where like, I got one. Oh no, I didn't.
You can get it in your cart, you can get it with shipping, or you can make it as a gift. But so that sold out. So if you got one, you're lucky, and clearly, there's a lot of reviews and stuff coming out. But we wanted them to play for ourselves, but also we have a sketch coming up next week. That's going to drop
I think
before Thanksgiving, right? Can we do that? Can we drop before Thanksgiving?
Sure. We can do it before Thanksgiving.
We'll drop before Thanksgiving where we needed
a lot of family fun. It's a family fun style
fun sketch.
Go to your grandma.
So how did we end up getting one? And hopefully you don't have to resort to these means, but on the black market, Craigslist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
is that the black market?
Well, I mean, the page is white, but I mean, you never know who you're dealing with.
So, as it was described to us by our production manager, Casey Cho, he called him a hype beast. So, it was like a motherfucker that like ties his hoodie bow real tight around his neck and has like a beard that's sort of gross and like a $400 hat that you don't know what it is. You're like, what is that hat? He's like, man, I don't even know. I got this in Japan. We're like one of them corny ass motherfuckers. So he had one. I don't know what he must have knew it. He knew some ball, who knew a dude, who knew this cat, who knew a cuz, who had it in his basement, and he owed him a pair of sneakers, and he traded Jordans for him or some nonsense.
So we got it, and I made sure, I'm like, don't get scammed.
Can we show the picture of him?
I couldn't, no, we can't.
He didn't even show his face, like he looked down to the side.
Yeah.
I said, take a picture of this dude, make sure the thing, if it's open, like test it on a TV, because if you come back with a brick, I will beat you to death with it. So I'm like, get a picture of the dude.
We sent 2 of our finest hooligans here.
So the picture we get is this guy. It looks like To Catch a Predator. Like he's kind of like got his head to like he doesn't want to be seen. Like he's cheating on his like regular Nintendo.
He's like, no, I'm meeting a friend here. Like, no, where's the friend? He's like, no, she's a really hot girl.
Click. So we got one. We didn't get scammed. So again, if you have to resort to eBay or Craigslist or whatever.
They're going at $200 right now.
Right around 2. 2 seems to be good.
The irony, that's how much an original NES cost.
Yes.
Was around $200.
Without games.
And also, if you were to download all these games on like the Wii U or whatever, it would cost you probably $200. More than $200.
Yeah, $5 to $10. Usually $5.
Easily more.
$5 for virtual console and stuff, but
yeah.
But Dan, you played the NES Classic.
Yeah.
You logged more hours.
To much fanfare today, right?
What are your initial impressions?
I think it's really cool. I like the catalog. It's got a really solid catalog of 30 games, which we already knew about.
Dude, it has the best games of all time.
It's got some really, really good games on it. I would have. There's some other ones that I would have included instead of like there were some unknowns on there that I was like, what the hell?
What? Give me a for instance.
I don't even know what it was. They did have some type ones like Excite Bike. Excite Bike was on there. Tecmo was on there. Excite Bike was really good.
Anyone that grew up with Nintendo had Excite Bike.
Yeah, Excite Bike was like...
Hated that game. It was always so frustrating.
I never had it. When I was going to friends, I was like, Excite Bike? Like, that is the worst
That was
game
one of the first ones you could make your own levels.
Yes.
You can make your own levels on Excite Bike, get the code.
What do you put a J in and it says...
and you could take the code to your
thing.
buddy's house and put the code in and they could play your levels or stuff.
Yeah.
And they had like Super C and Final Fantasy and the first 2 Legends of Zelda. It was great. And like Kirby was on there too. The only thing that I didn't like... even though they had like all that upscaling stuff for the graphics and everything, it was still really laggy. Like I was playing Kirby and it felt like it was kind of moving slow. And even the Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, there was some lags on the controls, and I was like, why?
Well,
is this
Nintendo will
happening?
probably get an update. Nope.
Well, the thing with it, what happens with a lot of systems and stuff is depending on the TV that you have. If you have it in like movie mode or game mode, it puts processing on, which adds delay. So I think game mode is the lowest latency, and it's less pretty. You know, it's less like tuned, but it just spits it right out for you.
Yeah.
But-
We were playing on the high end.
I want to transition
really-
just for a second here. Get a little space bar-y. Do you guys like Black Friday? You buying and selling Black Friday?
This is as Black
selling
Friday
it.
as I get. I'm a hard sell on this. I think it's a really terrible thing because it sucks. I get that like people want to get like their loved ones or their families or someone they care about, or even fuck it for yourself, something nice at a cheap price.
Yeah.
But like the
That's
price
how it
you
started.
pay
But
is
what
your
it is now is not that.
It's too much.
Now it's just like the greed, like consumerism at its finest. It's not like, man, I really need the
Yeah.
Blu-ray special edition.
What I don't get is motherfuckers going out and buying clothes on Black Friday. Like,
Or you look at like I was looking at a list. I was trying to see like what the outside of the main club bangers were like. Obviously like the NES and 4K TVs and like you can get $30 off a PS Pro or like whatever. Like
the
those aren't
PSVR is going to be big.
You know those
Black
aren't
Friday
crazy,
this year,
but
I
it's
bet.
like an iPhone 7 case, and I'm like it's still $11. Like if you don't get like a free hand job with it, like why? What's it's
What I
a
do
grind.
fuck
to
with-
shop,
I
Nick.
will say there was a Black Friday sale that I used to fuck with back on the East Coast. One of my comic shops in the area would do
Okay.
50% off all trades and like
That's
70%
solid.
off like models and toys and stuff, and we would just go, and that was a legit
That's
Black
like
Friday
con prices.
sale.
That's
Yeah,
like-
that's
yeah,
con prices.
that's awesome.
And
That's something different.
It was a midnight sale, so it was fun. It was like we would all hang
Yeah,
out.
and you hang out in the shop. And
And we'd go to the shop and be like, oh, cool. Me and my friends from high school would do it, even like post-college and stuff like that. But when you're at Best Buy at 6
Not
a.m.
having motherfuckers
to
trampling
get,
one
like-
another to get like.
Yeah, for what? A 4K TV
You know what
that's
the best
marked
thing to
down by
come out of the
$100?
best thing to come out of Black Friday is Walmart trampling videos. Like when they open the floodgates and it's like a reverse prison break where everyone wants to get into jail to get at the TVs and stuff. When you hear like someone gets paralyzed or some shit, like it's sad, but I mean like that's the most
gonna watch every
ridiculous.
single
I
one.
watch every single one of them.
On paper, there's not a huge difference between Walmart and Target, but in practice, there's a fucking gaping chasm.
Target.
Like, I don't know how the clientele is so. In the shopping center, there's a Walmart here and a Target there, and it's like north-south side of Chicago difference. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, how's that happen in the shopping center?
I don't know. I did work. I worked retail in my younger days, and I worked at a retail clothing store, and I had the pleasure of working one Black Friday. And the gift, if you were one of the first 100 people to show up, you got a free bag. And let me tell you, at 5 o'clock in the morning, there was a goddamn line wrapped around the building for a free bag.
What manner of bag?
A cloth one,
cloth
in
bag?
which you could put your
Like a
things
tote?
in, like a
If-
tote.
if
It was a
you've-
free tote.
If you've ever done any type of promotions, or like I've done like video productions for promotions, if it's free, lines just form, and you're like, I'm not giving you anything.
People
Yeah.
murder
Like a
each other for those
coaster.
bobbleheads at the ball games and stuff. They're like, first
But at least a
100 fans
bobblehead
gets
is
a-
like a little statue or
You
something.
like, you like toys and stuff. That's you going for the bobblehead.
But I've done, shut up, Blake's laughing. Come up. I've done promotions where they're giving out like a nylon sack with a sticker and a magnet, and people are just lined up down the block. It's like a free Keurig cup of coffee. You get a
One Keurig
nylon
cup.
sack, and everyone. Steve's our DP here. You've done shoots with me like that. And people line up for days. They get a free cup of coffee. You're like, okay.
It's tough. I mean,
Times are tough.
The
look, I
deals
think-
aren't worth the aggravation.
And that's where it crosses into the Cyber Monday.
That's what I do fucks with. I fucks with Cyber Monday.
Because you can. That's a work
I
smarter,
fucks
not
with
harder
cyber
type
sex.
situation.
Age, sex,
Do you?
location. No. As a prank.
Oh, okay.
Like Demolition Man.
So
That
I mean,
movie was a prank.
Shut up. Never again.
But anyway, the Cyber Monday, you can game how you're going to do that, and you can get your refreshers down and figure out what really is worth it, rather than drive 20 minutes and show up and you're just like, I got hit in the head with someone had a Negan bat left over from Halloween and fucking busted my skull open to get a pair of Reebok underwear for 99 cents.
Reebok
And it's
underwear.
like, all right, but
That's good.
That's where I think, and you see with Amazon, and I would much rather sit at home and pick my battles and have the fucking site crash worldwide, or at least in the U.S., and lose that way than drive somewhere and just have a shitty time.
All right, so final thoughts on Black Friday. I'm selling it.
I'm selling it.
I'll
I don't need
burn.
that
I'll
shit.
dumpster, light it up, walk away, explosion behind me. I'll do the CSI intro. Just never did it, never gonna do it.
All right,
Palate
let's talk
cleanse.
movies.
Let's talk something good and fun.
Yeah.
Let's talk movie. Sort of old news, but I don't care. I loved it. Ghost in the Shell trailer dropped.
Yeah.
Jess V from our Machinima Social team was over in Japan just checking out all types of dope props and shit.
Yes.
I was jealous. I'm a fan of
Me too.
the original manga and anime, and I was like, man, I thought the movie was going to maybe drop the ball, but for me, for my taste, the movie looks as good as any of my favorite sci-fi action adventures, from Star Wars to Fifth Element. I feel like this has that.
Rupert Sanders looks like he's going to surprise us. Like after all he's done is like Snow White and the Huntsman and a couple shorts.
Those movies are so dumb.
Like he didn't even do the other ones. He just did the first one.
Yeah, but
Well, you show up for the franchise. That's how you know.
Is that?
If it's bad, you're like, the director's, no one's back. The stars aren't back. The director's not back.
yeah.
It's going direct to the CW. You're like, yeah, it's because it's not gonna.
But there's something very like tactile about the world they built. Like it feels real. It feels grounded, and we're not getting that with a lot of sci-fi.
Beat Takashi in there as well.
I mean, in juxtaposition, Valerian and the Planet of a Thousand Worlds, or City of a Thousand Planets, whatever, that looked fake as fuck. But Ghost in the Shell had that very Blade Runner.
It looks like
Is
it's
that the
for
Luke
adults.
Besson, the City of a Thousand Planets?
Yeah. And I'm a big fan of his, but it looks
The source material is there, and it has some clout when you look at who's making that fucking movie. The pedigree coming down from Fifth Element. But there's a disparity like City of a Thousand Houses with planets inside of them. Looks like it's PG-13. I don't care if it's a hard R, but like that movie looks.
No, some
like
of the aliens are like,
and then running
straight out
around
of the Pixar movie.
And Ghost in the Shell, like it looks like a movie. But I mean, here's
what's
the
the
thing.
song that they use? The like '80s song they slowed down.
Oh, that's what they do now.
That's really popular. Yeah.
Yeah, they
really
love
popular.
doing that.
They love
Do
doing
you need like real special effects aliens to be into it, or
Yeah,
like
I kinda need
you
that.
can't do computer animated aliens?
CG aliens. I'm just like, oh, cool. Who Framed Roger
Takes me out of
Rabbit's
it, yeah.
on. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Because
You
they're
don't
not
like Who Framed
tactile.
Roger Rabbit?
No, I do. I'm just clowning it because they're obviously cartoons in the real world. But I just think you lose.
Cool world.
And I
Brad
argue
Pitt.
about this all
Brad
the
Pitt
time.
played the bad guy in
I
Cool
like
World.
special effects over VFX any day of the week.
You're a practical guy.
Yeah, I'd rather see it in camera and be like, it's done, I got it, it looks right, than be like, no, we're gonna add thousands of man hours to this shot to make it.
You just got a black guy in like big shades.
With just an eyeball on his cheek. And then at the very least, you know what it's going to look like, the final version.
But do you think? I mean, I agree for the most part. When you see like the 19 layers of CG on top of stuff, and it's like, look, they shot this in Cleveland, Ohio, literally in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, and it's supposed to be outer space, and you're like, oh well, those aren't fun to watch anymore when you strip the veneer off and you get to see the source material.
Ghost in the Shell, there's a lot of sets. You're seeing a lot of physical sets.
There's a lot of crazy stuff.
There's a lot of crazy cool stuff, and it's all amped up. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lot of model making, because everything is so detailed and so rigid. And I know you can get that with VFX now, but I don't know, when she's walking down the street and like those are extras in crazy costumes, and we're
Speaking of sets, none of it was shot in Japan. Apparently, it was all in China and New Zealand.
Yeah, because
New Zealand,
newsflash,
the Japan
kids,
of the Far
they're called
East.
movie sets. You can shoot a movie anywhere. You don't have to shoot it in Japan.
Yeah,
Yeah, and those aren't real goldfish on the streets. My main concern is not with the way it looks or not with the potential whitewashing of the cast, but is
I don't want to get into the
going
whitewashing for one reason, because Scarlett Johansson looks just like the protagonist in that picture.
Right. Also, I think they're not, because and that's what you were saying too. Is like they're not shooting it everywhere. They can shoot it anywhere. I think Sanders is going for a more like international style of story, not just like so focused on like a Japanese.
And that
like, cyber
post-apocalyptic
police force,
Japan is always been that way, even with Akira and everything like that.
Yeah.
Akira, but there's they're distinctly
like Neo
Japanese.
Tokyo was real post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
But
with Ghost in the Shell, I mean, she's a cyborg ultimately.
Yeah. She's
And people, I mean, she can have a Japanese surname without being physically Japanese.
That's what a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah.
Because it's like it doesn't matter what she looks like. She's a fake body.
Yeah. Phil?
Roll it, man. Like I was saying, I'm not concerned about that. I'm more concerned with is it going to be a mind fuck of a movie in a bad way? Where I think at times when I was younger, when I watched Akira and Ghost in the Shell when I watched the anime. And you kind of
like,
sitting there and
"Why?"
you're like, all right, cool. So I didn't get it. And then you kind of, whether you go back into it or you learn what symbolism is, or you.
Akira the comic book is so much clearer, and it's written by the same person. So much clearer. I think they ran out of budget. And when you watch it, I mean, the movie was made in the 80s. It looks better than animation today done with CG.
It looks amazing.
Every frame of that fucking
But there's
movie
no way
is
they
amazing.
could include everything
No.
from those books.
Yeah.
That was fucking War and
It was a
Peace.
12
Those things are
volume.
like-
It's a 12 volume.
Each one of those are
Here's
like
a
that
12
big.
volume, and
yeah.
it's worth the read. It's fucking dope. It's an
Great.
amazing read. And the movie as a kid, so imagine being like a little kid that shouldn't have rented Akira anyway. It's in the anime section, which they don't even rate because
Yeah.
it's
Parents
like
don't
an
know what's up
import.
about anime. They're like, animated? Cool.
Yeah,
Like,
cool.
just all fucking, yeah.
And I'm watching it and I'm like, I have so you omitted a lot of
Some
details that
eye-opening
needed to
shit.
be there.
in Akira.
And then on top of that, it's already crazy. There's some lost in translation type shit, and it's futurist, post-apocalyptic, theoretical psychology and telekinesis. And I'm like in 5th grade being like, what am I watching?
What is that?
What?
I'm
there a
12, and
drinking
what is
game?
this?
Is there a drinking game for how many Tetsuos and Kanedas you hear throughout
yeah,
the movie?
there's
Like in the
That would be
second
awesome
half?
because in like the second half, it becomes a song.
Yes, it
Just
does.
like, Tetsuo,
Has
Kaneda.
anybody auto-tuned that?
No, that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. If they haven't, but
Their names just become a song.
I think the movie's gonna look cool, and I know that that you guys didn't like Doctor Strange for maybe being a little more vanilla than you had hoped. But
I mean, I don't even want to go down the
But
Yeah,
I no,
we
I'm
don't
saying
need
that
to
this
go
might
down.
be the opposite. We might not like it because
Oh, yeah,
it
has
might
some-
be
it has some
it might
teeth
be
to
on
it.
the other end of the spectrum
yeah.
where it gets a little weirder. I don't know what you guys like when it comes to that stuff, but it just makes sense. And again, I love fucking weird shit. I love off the wall and esoteric and all that, but just makes sense. And that's what I hope the movie does.
You got ScarJo in it. The reason they cast her, she has major box office draw. Her and Jennifer Lawrence are the 2 biggest female movie stars in the world. And so it makes sense why she's there. I don't think they're going to go so crazy with the picture. And when you think about a movie like Blade Runner, which is a great sci-fi movie, everyone loves it, didn't do well in the box office.
PKD.
And movies like that don't do well in the box office.
But yeah, we're not in 2017 when this comes out. It's a vastly different landscape.
Yeah, you need to do well in the box office.
You need to, or else you're done.
Expect action sequences.
Yeah.
Expect the weird shit to at least be visually stimulating. They're gonna have to have some hook. You can't just be weird for weird's sake.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson's also got a catalog of work that lends to her playing this character as well. I think, like, after like working so much, like playing in like Then It's Her, like playing an AI, and then Lucy, which I think was Luc Besson as well.
It was.
And then like Natasha Romanoff, Besson,
First of all,
whatever.
Besson.
Like she's got this collection of work that's sort of like the Major is this sort of amalgam character that like all her other characters combined like make this like cyborg secret agent AI.
And I think it makes sense.
that,
Like, Lucy wasn't bad. I think what hurt Lucy was the CinemaSins-ing of movies. When people try to bring real science into shit and they ruin fiction, like it's fiction. And
Johnny Depp movie about the singularity.
No, that's a different
Yeah.
story because that was a movie that was
He
really
was pixelated. I knew it was the computer
that was
version
Wally
of him.
Pfister, and he's pretentious, so he deserved that one. But I think when you deal with Lucy, it was that whole 10% of your brain imagine all this, and that's been disproven scientifically so publicly.
Yeah.
That too many movie nerds now that fancy themselves science buffs were like, I can't watch this.
Bradley Cooper.
And they get, oh yeah, that was a fun movie.
But Limitless was a fun movie.
Limitless was cool. Lucy was kind of just like, all right.
I got you.
And then they got Morgan Freeman just like with all this fake science mumbo jumbo, like imagine if you can unlock all the blah blah blah. And
he just, all his VOs come together in form of man.
Yeah.
And it comes together. Well,
It's Neil deGrasse Tysoning really hard in that movie.
we will.
yeah.
I've never heard him used as a verb before. That's cool. But
All right, guys, that's kind of all the time we have for today. This is sort of a new format we're toying with. We might try to do some more stuff like this. So
Leave the bar in the shop.
yeah, leave the bar just floating out there in space.
so no, we
One
got.
day it might burn up in the atmosphere and
Toonami
maybe
faithful.
kill you.
Yeah, so we got some new sketches coming out. So like this video if you like us talking about this stuff. If you don't, tell us what you want us to talk about. Subscribe and you will get more Dankfire sketches. You will get more Spacebar and other cool stuff we are cooking up.
And if you comment,
We'll comment
holla
back.
Yeah. And if you clack,
We'll holla
clack,
back.
clack,
You're not going to
you
be
know?
hiding behind the Primer logo.
Precisely.
talking. you will talk directly to us. And Nick likes it when you say mean things to him, so jump on in. So like, subscribe, view, watch, tell, share.
Instagram, Snapchat, internet, future.
Meme.
Bye.
Peace.